Look at that.
Give us a few thoughts on your fundamentals for a bunker shot.
Well, when playing the bunker shot, the one thing you do, you want to make sure that you don't play it stiff wrist. See that? You cannot play out of the sand like that. So you've got to make sure. You find, you know, David, in golf, there are no rules that apply all the time. Everybody's different. But the one thing you've got to do, you've got to make sure that you cock that wrist. If you cock that wrist, it helps you to release and get through the sand. Remember, we're not playing on grass, we're playing in sand, which really stops the club. So you've got to have a wrist cock and a nice little acceleration.
Do you focus on having the club face open at all?
Yes, I do. I play on this shot very open. Now, if I had a shot of, say, 30 yards, I might play it with an 8-iron in a tournament.
Right.
Or a wedge. It's hard to hit that 30-yard shot.
Right, that's a good bit of advice.
Yeah, it's hard to hit that 30 and 40-yard shot with a sand wedge, because if you're too close, you go too far. If you're too behind, you stay short.
I think also what the viewers watching this should understand is that the sand iron is designed differently than other clubs in our golf bag. It's really designed for bunker play. You know, you got this big area with metal here where they shave it off at the back, and really that is the part of the club that needs to enter the sand. You know, you don't want to enter the sand with the leading edge, because as you said, you know, you're going to dig it in, the club's probably going to stop. When you played that shot now, the club was always moving, and you definitely use the back end of the club. And I always try and enter the sand maybe about an inch before the ball.
Yes, yes.
You know, you don't want to be hitting onto the ball because, you know, you're obviously going to thin it.
Yes.
And there's always a bit of give in sand. So you want to enter the ball about an inch before and keep the club moving.
That's right.
I think one of the things, if you look at the great bunker players throughout history, you know, Julius Boros, Chichi Rodriguez, Sevi, Gary, Ernie, rhythm. It's a big key. You see so many amateurs, they have this little short swing and they try to help the ball out instead of have a nice flowing swing. Your rhythm there was fantastic on that little shot you hit there.
Man, I see the number of guys you see trying to hit it like this, stiff wrists. If you don't have those wrists cocked, you cannot release on the shot.
Right.
Well, then you said, you know, we might get a
buried lie here.
Plugged lie, you want to play it obviously differently. If you're going to open the club, you know, you're not going to be able to penetrate the club head under the ball, so you want to really swing up and down, almost chop down on it, and really close the face a little bit more.
And watch it run, eh, Ernie?
Yeah, and really, you know, you've got to try and get the club underneath the ball again.
No, that was perfect. You see that?
Just
look
get
at
it out
of that line. Look at that.
Obviously get top spin and so forth, but...
Boy, wasn't that a lovely
That was
shot?
amazing.
What did you always say? Make sure you get the ball out of the bunk.
Let's try this lie here. This is one you see occasionally, this sort of severe uphill lie.
Yeah.
How would you play that differently there, Ernie?
Well, you got to go with the lie of the land. You know, you don't want to get your weight going the opposite way. You always want to, as the ball lies, you know, you want to go accordingly with your body. So, you know, if you got what is this, about 45 degrees here almost, you want to get your chest on the same height as that. Your body goes this way, and you're really playing up the slope.
Up the slope, right.
Yeah, you don't want to be going into the slope because the ball's going to pop up a little bit. So you don't really want to open the face too much. So you just go according with the slope. You just go up. Hit that a little bit softly.
And also, because of the slope, the ball is going to go higher. So you've got to make sure you hit it just a little bit harder.
Exactly.
Right.
Whereas if you're on this down slope,
Let's put a ball here, Gary.
this is impossible. You know, if you go, this you don't even give your mother-in-law. Now watch here now. You see, now I play this right off the back foot, because now you've got to...
Look at that.
It's going to run like crazy.
Great shot there.
You know, it's going to run. It's going to, because of the slope. I love what Ernie said. The ground like that, so now you like this, because the ball's going to come out low. Don't try and hit it high off here, because you'll scoop it.
Yeah.
And sometimes you've got to play for your bogey.
Yeah, that's true.
Sometimes you've got to sacrifice. You've got to say, look, I had a bad shot. I'm going to take my bogey.
Right.
Don't try and force issues. And so you've got the slope. It's going to come out low. When Ernie played it, it's going to come out high. And it was buried. He played that so beautifully. As he says, you just chop down because it's coming out with no spin, and it's going to run. I want to show you something, David. I found to me was a good thing. I'm a great believer in the way you practice. I think that's terribly important. I think people that just get up and just hit balls. When I'm on the practice tee, I always like to aim at a spot there. I didn't keep hitting to the same spot. I changed because it taught me to line up with different shots. Otherwise, it becomes monotonous. And playing bunker shots, thank you, I often stood there with a 7-iron. Now, if you can play, look at the 7-iron, how it's lofted. If you can play a 7-iron, I hit a clean. But if you can play that, give me another ball. Did you see the spin on that?
I saw that spin you got on that ball.
If you can teach yourself to play 7-irons, 5-irons, and all these little clubs around the green, you're cultivating feel. So now you know.
You got to get low to the ground.
You see that? Ernie's right there. You just got to make it a lot easier.
Oh,
there we go.
It's made it.
Get in.
Oh. You get that on camera.